Time for prayer.
O worthy God, the preserver and protector of all, you are without beginning and without end, non-dual, beyond comparison, and none can measure you. You are without color, without expression, without form, and without attributes. You are unlimited and unfathomable, beyond imagination and conception, eternal and imperishable. You are indivisible, and none can see you but with eyes divine. You always were, you always are, and you always will be. You are everywhere, you are in everything, and you are also beyond everywhere and beyond everything. You are in the firmament and in the depths. You are manifest and unmanifest, on all planes and beyond all planes. You are in the three worlds and also beyond the three worlds. You are imperceptible and independent. You are the Creator, the Lord of Lords, the knower of all minds and hearts. You are omnipotent and omnipresent. You are knowledge infinite, power infinite, and bliss infinite. You are the ocean of knowledge, all-knowing, infinitely knowing, the knower of the past, the present, and the future, and you are knowledge itself. You are all-merciful and eternally benevolent. You are the soul of souls, the one with infinite attributes. You are the Trinity of truth, knowledge, and bliss. You are the source of truth, the ocean of love. You are the Ancient One, the highest of the high. You are Prabhu and Parameshwar. You are the beyond God and the beyond God also. You are Parabrahma, Allah, Ilahi, Yastan, Ahura Mazda, and God the Beloved. You are named Isa, the only one worthy of worship. We repent, O God, most merciful, for all our sins, for every thought that was false or unjust or unclean, for every word spoken that ought not to have been spoken, for every deed done that ought not to have been done. We repent for every deed and word and thought inspired by selfishness, and for every deed and word and thought inspired by hatred. We repent most specially for every lustful thought and every lustful action, for every lie, for all hypocrisy, for every promise given but not fulfilled, and for all slander and backbiting. Most especially also we repent for every action that has brought ruin to others, for every word and deed that has given others pain, and for every wish that pain should befall others. In your unbounded mercy, We ask you to forgive us, O God, for all these sins committed by us, and to forgive us for our constant failures to think and speak and act according to your will. Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more, and more and more, and still yet more, till we become worthy of union with you, and help us all to hold fast to Baba's daman till the very end. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Welcome back to another EastWest Satsang and Aarti, everyone. This space, this sacredness of meeting Baba morning and night through this wonderful platform of Circle of Friends for Aarti. Aarti is the culmination of two Sanskrit words. A means complete, when we say akar, denominational form, the completeness, and rati is love. So it is about the complete love that we have for Baba, that we offer our hearts sharing to him at his lotus feet. Please put up your hands. I will put in the instructions again in the chat. And let's roll for another Saturday evening with Baba. So we have Noreen to begin today. Jai Baba.
There it is. Got it. Good morning, good evening, Jai Baba to everyone. This is a Brian Darnell poem, The Eternity Within. I might have become bitter with age, but my Lord fills me with such sweet wine. From the inside out, he serves me, as the world offers its standard gristle and gall, the generous terms of a surrender which seems surprisingly more and more an intensely shared bond of triumph and liberation. When the divine companion whispers to you, it makes no difference what is said, whether you make out the words or not. It matters not what he asks of you, nor whether you are prepared to obey. It is the hearing of a lifetime deaf and unfeeling heart, the slow turning of yourself around to see God coming, not from anywhere above or beyond, but from the eternity within you. O child of God, again and again his words strike home. We are not we, but one. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Wonderful words to begin today, Noreen. Thank you so much. And we have Tim in the house. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba Roshni and Jai Baba to all. I'm going to sing a Buzz Connor song, Only Love. Oh, nothing else will ever be quite as real to me as you move into my heart. What was once so far apart in the way, in the plan of love from God to man, in the holy word you breathe, so many have need. Oh, and only love's fantastic motion can show you as you are. Only love, the ancient law, O Meher Baba. What is there on this earth, whatever is the worth of a dream without you? Is there any as true as the way, as the plan of love from God to man, as the holy word you breathe? You've so many to feed. Oh, and only love's fantastic motion can show you as you are. Only love, the ancient law, O Meher Baba. Like a ship upon the shore, you've come to me once more, to a place once dark and pale. Now homeward we set sail, in the way, in the plan of love from God to man, in the holy word you breathe, so many have need. Oh, and only love's fantastic motion can show you as you are. Only love, the ancient law, O Meher Baba. What a feeling to behold, what a tale you've told. Since this whole thing has begun, it's only one returns to one, in the way, in the plan of love from God to man, in the holy word you breathe. You've so many to feed. ocean can show you as you are. Only love, the ancient law. Oh, meher Baba, la 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 la. Only love, the ancient law. Oh, meher Baba. Jai Baba.
Wonderful. What a great start to the evening. Jai Meher Baba. Thank you, Tim. And now we have Meher. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, everyone. I'm reading about 7 names of God today. Let's see. Meher Baba had given the following one-line prayer to be recited by the Mandali every afternoon for an hour and a half. Khuda Parmata, Allah Aura Mazda, Ram Yazdan, who this was followed by composed at the toddy shop in Kasaba, paid years before a second version was given. Later, Hari Parmata, Allah, Aura Mazda, God, Yazdan, who the following couplet was composed by Baba to be jointly recited by the ashram boys. The appointed hours, Hari Parmata, Allah, Aura Mazda, God, Yazdan, who. Jai Baba. Jai Baba.
Jai Meher Baba. Thank you, Meher. And now we have Martha. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. I'm going to be reading a Francis Brabazon poem, and it's in the Turning of the Key book, and it's an untitled poem, presented on May 1968. The world is being run on time, by time, for time, and at no time are we free, just to sit and enjoy even the outward forms of the beloved's beauty. Each drop bubble in time is a sphere, bounded but infinite, so fragile, yet the whole of creation is in it. It is a mirror, never reflecting truth, but the drop soul's desires, no matter how deep one dives in the truth quest or how high one aspires. Good man, bad man, economy tailored or king-sized. Each gazes in his bubble mirror, self-hypnotized. Since the blows of my will are too feeble to break my looking glass, at least, beloved, let it reflect only your beloved face. Then, though still in time, I will no longer be a fool under time's tyranny, but under your benign rule. The amazing universe and this beautiful earth will vanish, leaving not a trace behind when your glance shatters this so unbreakable mirror of my mind. Francis. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Thank you. That was beautiful. And now we have Elizabeth. Jai Baba.
Hey, Baba, everyone. I am going to read a small thing for Yom Kippur, which is mostly about repentance and forgiveness, and it's by Kristen Rogers. And then the little tiny thing that I wrote, but that's debatable. We'll see. The world doesn't need more people beating themselves up. The world doesn't need more people beating themselves up inside, making a bloody mess of their broken hearts and tattered shreds of their minds. There's quite enough of that, and all it brings is more pain. The world needs more beautiful souls like yours, who choose to see the beauty in their scars, who dare to forgive, to take their great big hearts and turn them inside out and give themselves the same kind of compassion that they give others. If I have harmed anyone in any way, either knowingly or unknowingly through my own confusions, I ask their forgiveness.
If anyone has harmed me in any way, either knowingly or unknowingly through their own confusions, I forgive them. And if there's a situation I am not yet ready to forgive, I forgive myself for that. For all the many ways that I harm myself, negate, doubt, belittle myself, judge, or be unkind to myself through my own confusions, I forgive myself. I just really liked that. And then this is a little part, it's the beginning, I guess, maybe of a poem that is sort of me sort of talking about, I don't know, coming to God a bit, I guess. I don't know. No one told me this would be such a brutal healing, such a scary undying, a messy unraveling and organization and reorganization of my synapses. Keep in mind, these earthquakes are a peculiar and spectacular opening to rebuild and mend the silly, scared infrastructure born of my previous soul grievances. This kind of terribly beautiful shattering is where my suffering trenches end the war, and the sacred settles into a deeper part of me. This is where the holy is excavated. That's all.
Jai Meher Baba. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. And now we have Angela.
Jai Baba, good morning,
Jai
good
Baba.
evening. So many wonderful shares already this morning. I thought to sing this song. There's someone at the door, Lord, knocking at your door, Lord. Open up the door, Lord. Open up the door. Open up the door, Lord. Open up the door. I can't stand anymore, Lord. Open up the door. Your face I adore, Lord. A glance I implore, Lord. I don't ask for more, Lord. Open up the door. Open up the door, Lord. Open up the door. I can't stand anymore, Lord. Open up the door. I don't seek to soar, Lord, to plains above the shore, Lord. Just drown me in the core, Lord. Open up the door. Open up the door, Lord. Open up the door. I can't stand anymore, Lord. Open up the door. To your kingly store, Lord, tears of pearls I bore, Lord. My rosary has more, Lord. Open up the door. Open up the door, Lord. Open up the door. I can't stand anymore, Lord. Open up the door. I kneel upon the floor, Lord. Your grace upon me pour, Lord, to be with you evermore. Open up the door. Open up the door, Lord. Open up the door. I can't stand anymore, Lord. Open up the door. Open up the door. Open up the door. Jai Baba.
That was beautiful, Angela. I remember Mother P singing it for my birthday in 2015 at Mer Nazar. And it was wonderful. That was the first time I heard this song and fell in love with it. Thank you, Baba, for this gift. And now we have our mother-daughter duo, Marukanti and Utakshi.
Jai Baba.
Jai Meher Baba.
Baba
Bhagavan, Baba Bhagavan, Baba Bhagavan, Meher Baba Bhagavan, Baba Bhagavan, Baba Bhagavan, Baba Bhagavan Meher Baba Bhagavan, Zartusht Bhagavan, Zartusht Bhagavan, Zartusht Bhagavan Meher Baba Bhagavan, Baba Bhagavan, Baba Bhagavan, Baba Bhagavan Meher Baba Bhagavan, Ram Bhagavan, Ram Bhagavan, Ram Bhagavan Meher Baba Bhagavan, Baba Bhagavan, Baba Bhagavan, Baba Bhagavan Meher Baba Bhagavan, Krishna Bhagavan, Krishna Bhagavan, Krishna Bhagavan Meher Baba Bhagavan, Baba Bhagavan, Baba Bhagavan, Baba Bhagavan Meher Baba Bhagavan, Buddha Bhagavan, Buddha Bhagavan, Buddha Bhagavan Meher Baba Bhagavan, Baba Bhagavan, Baba Bhagavan, Baba Bhagavan Meher Baba Bhagavan, Ishu Bhagavan, Ishu Bhagavan, Ishu Bhagavan Meher Baba Bhagavan, Baba Bhagavan, Baba Bhagavan, Baba Bhagavan Meher Baba Bhagavan, Allah Bhagavan, Allah Bhagavan, Allah Bhagavan Meher Baba Bhagavan, Baba Bhagavan, Baba Bhagavan, Baba Bhagavan Meher Baba Bhagavan, अवतार में हर बाबा की जय, 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 बोलो भाई मेहर मेहर, सारे बोलो मेहर मेहर, जोर से बोलो प्रेम से बोलो, घर घर में हो मेहर, बोलो मेहर 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 में, सबका प्यारा मेहर मेहर, सबसे न्यारा मेहर मेहर, है रखवाला दीन दयाला जियो दयाला मेहर, बोलो मेहर 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 में, सुख में कहना मेहर मेहर, दुख में कहना मेहर मेहर, हर हालत में भूल न जाना, हर दम जाना मेहर, बोलो मेहर 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 में, धर्म एक है मेहर मेहर, जात न पाती मेहर मेहर, सारे मानव एक प्रभु के माता पिता है मेहर, बोलो मेहर 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 में, मंदिर में है मेहर मेहर, मस्जिद में है मेहर मेहर, गुरुद्वारा में गिरजाघर में मधुसूदन एक मेहर, बोलो मेहर 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 में, मेहर 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 मेहर, तार मेहर बाबा की जय.
Wonderful. Jai Meher Baba. That was full of Josh of Baba's love. And now we have Jack and Marj. Or only Jack today we read.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Another day in paradise. This particular ghazal is a play on my first encounter with Baba. It's called A Window That Became a Door. How many lifetimes have I peeked in a window's reflection and passed it by, hardly without inspection, until that day I became entranced, stopped in my tracks, my soul enhanced. Oh, what beauty to see my real soul emblazoned before me, the real model in his role. That's Mayor Baba, I suddenly said. For once in my life, my brain had left my head. It was my heart speaking instead. Beyond the window and into the store, I noticed movement and spotted the door. And all I could feel is that I wanted more. For inside, I knew lay love's hottest core. Oh, Mayor, what have you done to me? This undeserving lump of ignorance and hypocrisy, who can't do right, now lives in the land of always wrong, as I'm trying to live out your eternal song. Fret not, my dear, you said inside my heart. For love to begin, you have to start. Doing this, you'll eventually be free. Now come and share a drop of wine with me. Where am I now, I wondered aloud, for there's few people here, hardly a crowd. My tavern for sure, he spoke those words. Outside your heart, the world is patently absurd. But how to live and how to die? It was my ego eliciting its illusory cry. No worry, no fear, as you live for me, dying to self, you'll be finally set free. Many decades have passed since I witnessed him last, when he changed my life all around and ravaged my ego to the point of disaster while gracing me with feelings unbound. And yet here I am with all of you, still holding fast to his love and demand, and made aware that it's the present moment and always that it's game on. To all my lovers, remember me, remember this. Though your egos be torn and tattered, be obedient to my wish, surrender to yourselves, and never forget my love to you and all is really all that matters. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, Jack. Jai Meher Baba. Always so poignant and hitting. And now we have dear Rati.
Jai Baba, everyone. Oh, beloved, I have come to bow down to the ancient one. Accept my heart, accept my mind. I bow before your love divine. May her, let your love song fill the air. May her, my heart belongs to you, Meher. I am yours, take all of me. My life I lay down at your feet. I bring my cup for you to fill. I bow before your perfect will. May her, let your love song fill the air. May her, my heart belongs to you, Meher. I give myself and all I do. This song of praise I offer you. and may her let your love song fill the air. May her, my heart belongs to you, Meher. With heart and soul I follow you. I find you in all things I do. Drown me in your holy name. Consume me in your sacred flame. May her, let your love song fill the air. May her, my heart belongs to you, Madam. May her, let your love song fill the air. May her, my heart belongs to you, Meher. My heart belongs to you, Meher. My heart belongs to you, Meher. Avtar Meher Baba ki jai.
So beautiful. Thank you, Rati. Jai Meher Baba. And now we have the Tina. Jai Baba.
Oh, that was so nice. I really appreciate your singing in English so I can understand what's going, the context. Anyway, this is a Baptist hymn. I'm going to try it. I was sinking deep in sin, far from the peaceful shore, very deeply stained within, sinking to rise no more. But the master of the sea heard my despairing cry. From the waters lifted me, now safe am I. Love lifted me, when nothing else could help. Love lifted me, love lifted me, when nothing else could help. Love lifted me. All my heart to him I give, ever to him I'll cling. In his blessed presence live, ever his praises sing. Love so mighty and so true merits my soul's best song. Faithful, loving service due to him belongs. Love lifted me, when nothing else could help. Love lifted me, when nothing else could help. Love lifted me. Souls in danger, look above. Baba completely saves. He will lift you by his love out of the angry waves. He's the master of the sea, billows his will obey. He's your savior and wants to be saved today. Love lifted me, when nothing else could help. Love lifted me, when nothing else could help. Baba.
Lovely. Thank you, Tina. Jai Meher Baba. And now we have dear Bhikkhu.
Jai Baba. गर हो नैया मझधार और टूटे पतवार, मेहर दामन छूटे ना, तुझ पे बीते हजार दुख हिम्मत ना हार। मेहर दामन छूटे ना, ओ मेहर दामन छूटे ना, तुझ पे बीते हजार दुख हिम्मत ना हार। मेहर दामन छूटे ना, ओ मेहर दामन छूटे ना, डगमगाते हुए हिचकिचाते हुए कोई जाता है पी के मिलन को, कोई जाता है पी से मिलन को। पी तो ऐसी नगर जिसकी ऊंची डगर, पी तो ऐसी नगर जिसकी ऊंची डगर, जाना हाथों में लेकर जिगर को, ओ जाना हाथों में लेकर जिगर को। छोड़ तन मन की आस, छोड़ माया के पास, मेहर दामन छूटे ना, ओ मेहर दामन छूटे ना, वो लगन ही नहीं भूलना खुद को ही, वो लगन ही नहीं भूलना खुद को ही। तू तो लिपटा है अपने ही आंखों में, तू तो लिपटा है अपने ही आंखों में। मन तो माने नहीं मस्त अपने में ही, मन तो माने नहीं मस्त अपने में ही। डूबे प्रीतम ना प्रेमी ना प्रेम में, ओ डूबे प्रीतम ना प्रेमी ना प्रेम में। छोड़ तन मन की आस, छोड़ माया के पास, मेहर दामन छूटे ना, ओ मेहर दामन छूटे ना, प्रीत क्या चीज है सुना तूने भी है, प्रीत क्या चीज है सुना तूने भी है। यहाँ सर्वस्व करना न्योछावर, यहाँ सर्वस्व करना न्योछावर। तू न दुनिया रहे पी केवल रहे, तू न दुनिया रहे पी केवल रहे। ऐसी मजबूरी होती यहाँ पर, ऐसी मजबूरी होती यहाँ पर। यूं चलेगा अगर मधुसूदन अमर, यूं चलेगा अगर मधुसूदन अमर। तेरा संयम छूटे ना, ओ तेरा संयम छूटे ना, छोड़ तन मन की आस, छोड़ माया के पास, मेहर दामन छूटे ना, ओ मेहर दामन छूटे ना, तुझ पे बीते हजार दुख हिम्मत ना हार। मेहर दामन छूटे ना, ओ मेहर दामन छूटे ना, अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
Wonderful. Jai Meher Baba. This beautiful song, the first lines mean, irrespective of any kind of suffering that we may have, Baba, may we never leave your Daman Meher. Jai Baba. And now we have Alan Ray. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, did you unmute me?
We can hear you.
Great. That was wonderful, wonderful. Such a heartfelt bhajan. And up on Meherbad Hill back in February '74, this tune kind of came down in the Hindi translation by our own Vijay Balakar. The beloved lies within. The beloved lies within. Open up your heart. The beloved lies within. Open up your heart. The beloved lies within. Open up your heart. Your heart. Your heart, your heart, your heart, your heart, your heart, your heart, your heart. Priyatam yahan rahe, aapne dil ko kholo. Priyatam yahan rahe, aapne dil ko kholo. Priyatam yahan rahe, aapne dil ko kholo. Tomare ye dil mein, tomare ye dil mein, tomare ye dil mein, tomare ye dil mein. The love of God is always with you. Let His grace and beauty shine on through. The beloved lies in you. Open up, see the truth. Let the light shine on through you. Shine on through you. Priyatam yahan rahe, aapne dil ko kholo. Priyatam yahan rahe, aapne dil ko kholo. Priyatam yahan rahe, aapne dil ko kholo. Tomare ye dil mein, tomare ye dil mein, tomare ye dil mein, tomare ye dil mein. The love of God is always with you. Let His grace and His beauty shine on through. The beloved lies in you. Open up, seek the truth. Let the light shine on through you. Shine on through you.
That was beautiful, Alan Ray. Jai Meher Baba. I would like to share these few beautiful writings by Mani, Baba's sister. This was shared and given to me by Dilruba, Baba's grandniece. Baba wants us not to expect but to accept. Baba does not simply remove the obstacles, he holds your hand and helps you cross over them. Baba said to us, you either want what you want or you want what I want. You can't have both. Avtar Meher Baba ki jai. And may we always want what Baba wants. And now we have Al. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, everyone. It's a beautiful day here. The sun is shining. It's 52 degrees, but come Tuesday, I understand it's supposed to reach 70 here in Myrtle Beach. Anyway, today I would like to sing a song, which I've sung before, called Volare. Volare means to fly. And as I sing this song, cantare means to sing. And my take on this song is that when you sing to the highest of the high, you're flying high, in a nutshell. So here it goes, in English and in Italian. Volare, oh, cantare, oh, let's fly way up to the clouds, away from the maddening crowds. We can sing in the glow of a star that I know of, where lovers enjoy peace of mind. Let us leave the confusion and all the delusion behind. Just like birds of a feather, a rainbow together we'll find. Volare, oh, cantare, oh, no wonder my happy heart sings. Your love has given me wings. Penso che un sogno così non ritorni mai più. Mi dipingevo le mani e la faccia di blu. Poi d'improvviso venivo dal vento rapido e cominciavo a volare nel cielo infinito. Volare, oh, cantare, oh, nel blu, dipinto di blu, felice di stare lassù, e volavo, volavo felice più in alto del sole e ancora più su, mentre il mondo pian piano spariva lontano laggiù. Una musica dolce suonava soltanto per me, e volavo, volavo felice, contento con te. Volare, oh, oh, cantare, oh, no wonder my happy heart sings. Your love has given me wings. Nel blu, dipinto di blu, felice di stare lassù, Nel blue, deep into the blue. Most happy to be here with you. Jai Baba, thank you all for listening.
That was wonderful, Jai Baba.
Thank you.
Now we have Abhishek.
Yeah, Baba. So I wrote down the lyrics of the song that I first wrote for Baba. You all can see it in chat and sing along. We see the bluest sky above your resting place, and every happy tear we see your smiling face. It can take months or years or lifetimes to receive your divine grace. Every second of it is pure joy once you've set our hearts ablaze. Baba, Baba, how we long for your embrace. Baba, Baba, we await your loving gaze. Baba, Baba, you bring light to darkened days. Baba, Baba, we stay with us always, always. Come from different sides of this veil we call the world. What's real and unreal sets our heads into a swirl. But when we hold on to your daman, everything just becomes clear. Every time we say your sweet name, we just know you're very near. Baba, Baba, how we long for your embrace. Baba, Baba, we await your loving gaze. Baba, Baba, you bring light to darkened days. Baba, Baba, stay with us always, always. Thank you for the words, the ways, the bases of our life. We thank you for the silence, 'cause only then we will arrive to the message of your love that's beyond the words we know. The voice that's in our heart is what we'll aim to hear and follow. Baba, Baba, how we long for your embrace. Baba, Baba, we await your loving gaze. Baba, Baba, you bring light to darkened days. Baba, Baba, stay with us always, always. Stay with us always, always. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. We have few minutes for one last song with Betty before we move on to our wonderful speaker for the day, and we'll have Manisha and family singing for post party Saturday night. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Manisha later. Manisha later. I will
Okay,
call
okay.
out. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Be with us, okay?
Okay, fine.
Yes, Betty. Sorry. Jai Baba.
Okay. I'm on my phone. But can you hear me? Yeah? Okay. This is Leela, per request from Roshani. The eyes of the baby behold everything from under. The eyes of the young man behold his lady's face with wonder. The eyes of the old man look upon the flowing river. What of those whose eyes are one? They leave this world forever. Leela, Leela, this world life is just a game. Winners lose and losers win, and the game is still the same. Leela, Leela, this world is just a play. Those who say don't know, and those who know don't say. Where is the man who in his heart can really feel it? Can he feel it in himself, and then can he reveal it? So let us sing to God and clean our hearts of strangers. When mind is gone, the heart is strong, and love remains forever. Leela, Leela, this life is just a game. Winners lose and losers win, and the game is still the same. Leela, Leela, this world is just a play. Those who say don't know, and those who know don't say. How can a man accept life who does not accept the dying? How can he achieve his purpose without even trying? How can a man have courage who cannot as well be tender? He who wins the game is he who's learning to surrender. Leela, Leela, this life is just a game. Winners lose and losers win, and the game is still the same. Leela, Leela, this world is just a play. Those who say don't know, and those who know don't say. Meher is the man who in his heart can really feel it. He feels it all within himself, and for us did reveal it. So let us sing aloud, and let our hearts be gladder. Sing to God until the masquerade no longer matters. Leela, Leela, this life is just a play. Those who say don't know, and those who know don't say. Leela, Leela, this life is just a game. Winners lose and losers win, and the game is still the same. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. This is such a beautiful reminder every day to keep playing in his love and surrender to his will. Jai Meher Baba. And now we are at the onset of our beautiful hour with another wonderful speaker, our quiet and silent worker, Joe DiSabatino, who is enjoying his retirement while he volunteers for the Meher Center. And he also writes poetry, he paints, he teaches meditation, painting, multifaceted Baba lover, and he's the one thanks to whom I got to play Shirin Mai in his latest play that we did on Zoom reading. So here we have with us Joe to share his journey with Baba and his wonderful creative work in Baba's love that he's been doing. Joe, the floor is all yours. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai.
Thank you, Roshani. Thank you for inviting me to share today. And yes, she was a big hit when the Zoom play we did in early October. Roshani played Shireen Mai, Baba's mother, and she was incredible. So thank you for doing that. So today what I want to share is I'm a painter, and just want to share my paintings and also my thoughts about my paintings, some of the ideas of how I paint Baba and the influences on me. So hopefully you will enjoy that. But my background is I'm retired right now, and I'm enjoying my retirement here in Myrtle Beach. I live about 4 miles from the center, and do some volunteer work at the center when it's open. And on Sunday mornings, though, I'm doing it now on Tuesday mornings. I rake Baba's compound, so that's one of the highlights of my week. And like right now, the center is closed, but I get to go into the compound and just spend an hour raking by myself with Baba. So that's really like worth living here just to do that. On Sunday mornings when it was open, I'd get there at 8 in the morning, just being there by myself with Baba. So I came to Baba in 1969. I just graduated college in Philadelphia and was feeling this urge just to break free. And everything was happening out in California back then. And I just, 2 days after graduating, I just drove to California and ended up in Berkeley. And within a short time, someone put Baba's Discourses in my hand and I started reading them. I was immediately touched by and just felt the power of Baba's words come to life inside me in the Discourses. And then I saw a notice. The first time I saw Baba's face, there was a "Don't Worry, Be Happy" poster on a cheese shop in Berkeley, a few blocks from where I was living. And I used to walk by it, and I didn't know who he was. I thought he was a cheesemaker, a Greek cheesemaker. But I would just smile at him. And then I saw this announcement. There was going to be a Baba meeting on the campus in one of the classrooms at the University of California. And I went and I went into the room, and it was an amphitheater, and I was kind of shy back then. I didn't say anything to anybody. I just sat in the back, but I was feeling this sense of belonging or connectedness to the people in the room. And so the speaker came, and I forget who it was, but he started speaking about Baba, a little bit about his life, and that's all making sense to me. And then he showed a film. Now we're going to show a film of Mayor Baba. And that's what had happened. As soon as I saw the film, it was like just my heart exploded with love and recognition for Baba, and it was instant. And so for a couple of months, I was on this powerful Baba honeymoon. I just felt him alive inside me in every cell of my body. And I'd see him in the sidewalk, on the trees. People were coming up to me and saying, "Wow, man, you got some beautiful vibe there. What is it? What is it?" And they want to know what drug I was using. And that had never happened to me in life. So that's the start. So been with Baba ever since. And from 2010 to 2015, I had the good fortune to live at Mehrabad for almost 5 years. And I did some playwriting there. I started writing plays in 2010 with almost no background in theater. They just started coming right when I retired. Where they came from, I have no idea. I had only written a short skit for Bao's first visit to the center in 1985, and I had been in one play before it. Then suddenly all this latent talent came out, or interest and ability for playwriting and writing and directing. So I think since 2010, I've probably done about 15 or 16 plays that I've written and directed for Baba. The highlight was doing I wrote and directed the birthday play and at Mehrabad for 2012. And if there's time, I'll show you some slides from that. So, but most of my time right now, I spend painting. And so I wanted to share my paintings, my thoughts about my paintings. I have a slideshow I present it. So what does please amazing. Thank you. Before I forget, on February 28th on Zoom, I'm going to do another play reading. I have 3 short comedies, right? I already have a cast, so we're going to start rehearsing, and you can access that through the Circle of Friends calendar. So it's Sunday, February 28th at 10 o'clock to 12 approximately. So 3 short plays. 2 of them are already performed on the center about 2 years ago, and one of them is a world premiere, and that one's called Bao Meets Wall Street. So I hope you come to that. It should be funny. All right, so let's it's interesting how I got started with painting. It was an accident. I didn't really paint in high school. There was no art classes in the high school I went to. And my sophomore year in college, I registered for what I thought was an art appreciation class. I thought we were just going to study artists and look at slides. And I walk into the classroom and everyone has their easel out and they're setting up. And I went, whoops, I'm in the wrong class. And the instructor convinced me to stay, which I'm glad he did because I've been painting ever since. So it was one of those accidents or not. And it's been a hobby. Painting was a hobby the whole during my career. I'm a retired psychotherapist. I specialize in family therapy, and but so it was a hobby and on and off over the years. But once I retired, it just became a passion. And Lynn Ott's been a big influence, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. You know, I was friends with Lynn. Well, let me just say that now. I was friends with Lynn, and when he died, I think it was 1997 when he died. And I had just come back from living in England, and I was in a transition period, and I hadn't painted in a long time. And shortly after Lynn died, I picked up my paintbrushes again and started painting. And I felt like I was in a whole different place, like I had progressed as an artist without having painted. And I even won a little prize for a set of paints and everything at the local art shop at the same time. I had never won anything. And I felt at the time, and I feel now that Lynn, when he died, gave me a push artistically. And I talked to other artists who were friends with Lynn's, and several of them have said the same thing, that Lynn gave, you know, people who had a connection with them and had an interest in painting some kind of a push. And I have no idea how that happened, but I really think it did. So Lynn's been an influence on me. You'll see when I and his ideas. I don't know how many of you have read his book, In Quest of the Face of God. It's a wonderful book. It's out of print, and there's a couple copies at the library. And if you're interested in art, it's really fascinating. I mean, really his insights into Western artists and the artists who have had an impact on him, and relating it all to this theme I'm going to talk about today, which is painting the divine. All right. And if you have any questions or comments during this, feel free to just jump in with them. All right. I have a slideshow. I'm going to start, and then I'm going to, well, let me just start that. Preview. So this theme of what is painting? But the art has always been one of the main themes of art is painting the divine. That the purpose of art is to remind us and to elevate our consciousness, to keep our focus on God, on our own soul, and to elevate to give the experience, because we get immersed in the world and worldly activities, to remind us that God exists, and loving God is the purpose, to worship God, to contemplate the divine. That's always been one of the throughout the world, the sacred, painting the sacred, and giving the viewer some experience of that sacred. And so in Western art, this is still true today, and how artists do this have evolved and changed over the centuries. So this is a slide of a Byzantine icon where of Christ, and he's in some type of spiritual realm surrounded by golden light. And that was the main focus in medieval art and Byzantine art, that God is in heaven, and we need the paintings are of the saints and Jesus in heaven, some other spiritual realm that we need to contemplate. And that's how they did it. And then
you can share screen, Joe.
Pardon?
You can share screen.
Oh, I didn't share the screen, did I? My fault. Sorry, I forgot. Aha. Sorry about that. There's all right.
Perfect.
Now I can see it. Great. Thanks for reminding me before we got too far. Where's the preview? Okay. All right. There it is. There's the icon. But I thought you were looking at it already. Sorry about that. All right. So that's the Byzantine icon. That's how, Jesus is in heaven, etc. And this is a painting by Raphael. Then, the Renaissance started doing, the Renaissance started doing the sacred as realistic human beings, that to make the sacred more, the painting Jesus and Mary as human beings right here down here on earth. This is a remarkable painting. I saw this live in Rome. There's thousands and thousands of Madonnas and Jesus, all you see them and you get kind of like, oh no, not another one. And I remember walking through the museum and it's like, this one just grabbed me. And I said, who's that? That's got to be Raphael. It was just, it's a remarkable painting, the human, beautiful quality. So you can see the evolution of how artists were in the Renaissance were painting the divine, the Holy Family as human beings, as right here on earth. And this is a painting by Caravaggio. And what he added was drama. Okay, and he's been such a big influence. I mean, even today, Caravaggio's use of dark and light, chiaroscuro, and you see that in films. Many filmmakers have used his dramatic images, or dramatic scenes with sharp contrast between dark light. And this is this painting is Jesus calling Matthew, but you're mine. This is Jesus over here. And interesting, he doesn't make Jesus central. And this is Matthew over here. So there's this dramatic moment of calling. Matthew's right here. And he's going, who, me? You talking to me? What do you want? I'm just a fisherman or whatever. And then Jesus saying, no, you, I want you. But look at the drama in it. And it's like all the fingers pointing this way, and this moment of spiritual awakening for Matthew. So Caravaggio was a master at this, and this is his influence. This continues to reverberate right into, like I said, filmmakers, artists that use this dramatic lighting and this moment, this capturing these moments. So it's not just a person sitting in a pose. Okay? Oh, I did that one already. Did I go backwards? I'm sorry. Next, we're going to get to Rembrandt. Okay, this is Rubens. Sorry, this is Rubens. And again, painting Jesus. This was a central theme in Renaissance art and on through the Baroque, of Jesus suffering, Jesus on the cross, and as a human being, dramatizing his suffering. And he died for our sins. And actually, early Christian art for the first 200 years, they did not paint Jesus as suffering. That only came with the later, with the early Renaissance. The early Christian art, I don't have enough, was Jesus is smiling. It's like a "Don't worry, be happy" Jesus, right? And he's very youthful, and this didn't happen where the whole focus is on the suffering of Christ. That didn't happen until much later. So it's interesting. We're in that period with Baba, where most of the paintings are Baba happy. No one's painting like his car accident, but that's what they did. Actually, I had that idea. I may do that someday. But that was the whole focus. It became that in Western art, to concentrate on Christ's suffering, and through his suffering, he absolves us of our sins, or takes our sins upon us, and humans, the viewers, need to be touched and reminded of the great sacrifice he made. All right, Rembrandt. What Rembrandt did, and Leonard really speaks beautifully about Rembrandt in his book. And what he's done is that, this is what starts to happen, is that the Christ, the divine, our divinity is not just in Jesus. Because before, all the paintings were about Jesus, Virgin Mary, the saints, and either in another dimension, in heaven, or else here on earth, religious themes. But what Rembrandt did was he was painting man as the inner light, that the divine is within us. And that was a big shift. And Rembrandt really brought that, painted that better than anyone else ever did. And I don't think ever since, that human beings carry a divine light. And that the glow of that golden light, and this is Jacob, I think, with the baby Jesus. And then also in his self-portraits. Why am I going backwards? I click on this, I'm supposed to go forwards. I will get there. Yeah, it's a self-portrait. And the same thing is that the light is coming from within himself. He's surrounded by this glow, but and in his other portraits that he was paid to do, commissions, it's like the skin, the way he painted the skin is, he's painting the soul. Let's put it that way. Rembrandt gave an experience of an individual soul. And he was the greatest at doing that, and I don't know if anyone's ever matched him. So so now Rembrandt's saying the divine is not just in Jesus or in the saints. The divine is in all of us, in the soul, and the amazing thing is that can be painted. How do you paint the human soul? You know, and so there's a glow. The light is coming from within. I'm going to jump way ahead here into art history. This is just a prelude to Lynott and to the influences I've had. So here's another way, Van Gogh. This is a landscape by Van Gogh. And then the shift happened. I think what Van Gogh was painting here is that the divine is in the earth. It's in the landscape. And look, everything is swirling. Everything is alive in this painting and his other landscape paintings. He's painting the sense of pran, or energy, divine energy. And he's seeing through the veil of the gross world. And he's seeing that there's this swirling, vibrant, divine energy everywhere. And he's giving us that experience of it. Everything's flowing and alive and moving, and just this rush of energy. Right, so we know from Baba that it's the subtle world, the world of energy, and it's almost like he's getting. He may have had a glimpse in somewhere into the first plane energy, and he's painting that. And so here's another way artists have started to paint the divine. It's in the world. It's everywhere. It's not just in human beings. It's also in the landscape. Backwards to Rembrandt. Why is it doing that? Sorry. I clicked on it, it's supposed to go forward. All right. And then, you know who this is, Monet. This is at the end of his life. You know, Monet was no longer an impressionist. You know, he did this magnificent series from his garden, the Water Lily series. And I had one of the most profound artistic experiences I've had was in Paris twice, looking at these. There's two museums that carry these huge, these huge late paintings of Monet. And what I had the experience that Monet in his last years was starting to pierce the veil of the physical world. And he did it through painting his ponds. And what happens when you stand in front of these paintings, it's like they're alive, they're vibrating. And it's almost like he's looking through the veil, the last veil of the physical gross world into the subtle. And I could feel it. You know, you don't get that from you're not going to get that experience from looking at a photograph, an image. You won't get it from seeing this, but by standing in front of the paintings, they vibrate. They like Van Gogh's do. And Monet's taken it the next step, I think. So here's the idea that it's not just about painting physical form, the form of Jesus or a person, that the painting itself, the way the paint is applied, the color has an energy of its own that gives the direct experience of say the divine presence or divine energy. And that's very different. So you're not just painting, like I said, a object that reminds you of, say, painting Jesus, who reminds you of the real Jesus. It's like the painting can give you a spiritual experience. And I used to talk about this with Lynn, and that's what he was doing, or what he felt he was doing through his paintings of Baba. That by looking at Lynn's paintings of Baba, you get the experience of being in Baba's presence. It's not just the painting of oh, this reminds you of Mayor Baba. It's like the painting itself is alive with Baba's presence. And many of you probably had that standing, if you stood in front of that experience of a Lynn painting. I think the fact that he sat in front of Mayor Baba at Manali Hall, and Baba said, paint me, he wanted him to paint him, and he shone the light on, Baba had the light shone on his face so Lynn could see it despite his increasing vision, that Baba gave him that ability to transmit his presence through painting. But this is started, but it's also been there in other artists. And I personally experienced that through Monet's. It's like he was, like I said, it's like prana energy. He's starting to pierce the veil. Okay. And then, I have no idea where I go back. So let me go forward. All right. You know, this painting, that's Salvador Dali. So it's a magnificent painting, again, where he's taking the whole theme of the crucifixion. And this time, it's like it's an inner realm. It's not on the earth plane. That this crucifixion is happening or happened on some inner plane. And notice there's no wounds, and Jesus isn't looking right at you. So another way of reminding us of the Christ, but doing it in a space, in a dimension that's not in the physical plane. I can forward these a little bit by myself. All right. All right, this is a painting by the famous American artist, abstract expressionist Mark Rothko. And I think I think Rothko took it to the next level. That without having this pure non-representational, to give the viewer the experience of another realm, divine energy. Now, you know, again, like with the Monet paintings, you don't get that experience just looking at a slide. The way he did his paintings were he would do numerous, probably hundreds of washes with very thinned out paint with turpentine usually, filling up layers and layers and layers. And he would use a very restricted palette, just like he's just doing shades of red and blue here. And many people who would view his paintings would have these profound emotional experiences. They would just start crying, standing in front of this. And what's happening is that when you stand in front of, like with the Monet painting, but without any reference to physical world. It takes you into an inner realm that the way he painted it, which is building up glazes and glazes and glazes, there's an incredible depth to this, to these. And it's through that somehow, and also you get pulled into it because it's a restricted use of color. The more colors you have, the more it keeps you on the surface. It's a very meditative way of painting, and just a restricted use of color, and also the building up of layers, so that it's like endless. You have to have the patience to stand in front of these. Most people don't. You know, the average length of time a person in galleries, art museums stands in front of paintings for about 20 seconds, or take a selfie. Here I am in front of them, Rothko or Rembrandt. But if you stand in front of them and let the painting pull you in and work on you, and your busy mind slows down, it pulls you into your soul level. And that's the only explanation I could have for people just starting crying, sobbing. And Rothko himself denied that he was doing spiritual paintings, that he was just painting human emotions. But there's a spiritual dimension to this. So here, this is interesting that you can connect, you can paint the divine even just through color, through the use of color. Color itself is divine. And Lynn Ott talks about that in his book. I'll show you that in a second. All right, I'm going to get to Lynn's paintings here. Now I'm going to pause and open up a document about Lynn. Can you see that? Can you see the document? Yes, okay. There's Lynn. These are some quotes from his book, The Quest of the Face of God. When God said, "Let there be light," he meant, let the universe be a fountain of color from the beginningless beginning to the endless end. And from the first stirring trailed colorful spiraling worlds of form. So color relating back to the very beginning of creation. Color is the one element in painting that is simultaneously most human and most divine. It is color that makes the music of the spheres. And what gives a painting real lasting value? The expression of the heart is what has lasting importance. All right, so Lynn Ott's paintings and his thinking about art has had influence on me. One, the spiritual significance of color and the spiritual possibilities of color. In the 1950s, Lynn came to maturity as an artist in New York City as an abstract expressionist. That was the most abstract expressionism was the main art movement. New York had become the center of the art world. It was Paris for many decades, and after the war, it moved to New York City. Abstract expressionism, and that's about just painting in a way that isn't. You're painting your subjective emotional expressions, usually non-representational paintings, abstract, and they're very non-traditional application of paint, very free and spontaneous. Right. Paint splatters and just breaking away from doing very detailed drawings, so there's a whole emphasis on emotional expression and freedom and color, right? So as a contrast to realism in art, this is a realistic portrait. It's well done, and what realism is saying that it resides in the world of duality. So there's a subject-object relationship. And realistic paintings, whether it's a portrait or landscape, celebrates the objective reality of the physical world, all right? And so if you have a portrait from that point of view, like this, there's always a foreground. The figure is in the foreground, and there's a background. This person is in the room. So foreground, background, duality. And it's beautiful art. I'm just saying but it's celebrating the world of duality in the physical world. Expressionism is a little different. In painting, it's more about intuition. It's more about unity. It's more about subjectivity. It's more about painting your inner experience and inner realms. and the web of life, the connection, the wholeness, emotional reality. And what painting in this tradition eliminates the traditional foreground and background. And this is what Lynott did in his painting. That's why I'm saying this. And this has had an influence on me. He's eliminated the traditional foreground and background. So the whole painting is Baba. But it's saying, Baba's saying, I am in everything and everyone. All right. So how do you paint that? And what Lynott was doing, it's not just Baba's form. The whole painting gives the experience that Baba is, yeah, he's in a form, but he's beyond form at the same time. And that's always intrigued me, that possibility. How do you paint Baba as being in form and beyond form? And in the 60s, Baba often reminded us that I am not this body. He said that many times. He wanted us to know, I am not this body. And that always intrigued me as a painter. So when I was questioning, I attempted to paint, I don't know how successfully, how can I paint or capture Baba's form and his formlessness at the same time? And I think Lynn was struggling with that. So one direction is that to have Baba simultaneously emerging from a color field, emerging from it and dissolving into it at the same time, to give that sense that Baba is here and not here, and that Baba is in everything and everyone. So portraying Baba through the use of color as he's being embodied in the physical realm and also beyond it. All right. And that comes through in this book and Lynn's writings, but also in his paintings. So that's back to this. I lose. Oh, once you, I'm going to start the preview again. Jump forward. Words. Okay, so there it is. There's Baba, Lynott. And he's in another realm. He's in an inner realm. And I think this is what Lynn is trying to convey. And if you look, the colors that are in Baba's sadra, the coat, his face, are all mirrored all around the painting. And it's a sense of oneness. Baba's coming out of this space, this inner realm of color, but he's coming out of it towards us, but he's also merging with it at the same time. This has had a big influence on me, because I think this is a sense of unity. The whole painting is Baba. It's not a foreground and background. It's beyond duality. What Lynn is saying with this, and that's Baba's saying duality is ultimately false. It's all one, unity, and so it's a beautiful painting of Baba, but there's a profound artistic statement about who he is that is conveyed through color. Same thing here. You can see the Caravaggio influence, the sharp contrasts of dark and light. Again, where is Baba here? It's an inner space. There's the darkness and the light, and Baba somehow a bridge between the darkness and the light. It's not a conventional portrait. It's not a foreground background. Same thing there. Beautiful use of reds and pinks. Colors that are surround Baba are also what he's wearing. It all kind of blends in. And this, the roses kind of like are just gradually emerge out of this surrounding red field of color, you know. there it is again. Again, Baba's it's an inner realm. It's a realm of light and color and the beginning of the universe. Let there be light. And so it's like, it's the beginning, you know, and from the beginning, all forms emerge. This is like before there was form, before the forms emerge as some timeless space that the avatar. I'm not this body. So the whole painting is Baba. That's what I'm saying. The whole painting is Baba. There's Baba in form, and then there's the formlessness, and it's all one. All right, so the rest of these are my paintings, and you can see where I've attempted on in my own way to take these lessons that I've conveyed through the history of art and the influence that Lynn has had on me. There's the Caravaggio, lightness and dark, the contrast, and Baba is like the bridge between the two. And I'll just let them run, all right? I'll stop occasionally. I'm not going to stop at everyone. Is it moving? Experiment with use of words, but same thing. Baba's coming out of that field and merging back into it. Same thing. Colors in his face are also the colors surrounding him. That says Paramatma with an exclamation point. Black and white study. That's a recent one. Maybe that's more conventional, background, foreground, but it's reduced color, mostly black and white with a little bit of color in it. Same thing. Baba emerging and disappearing into the background, into the color field. I wanted that Baba's chair, Bonnie Hall, I wanted to convey that Baba's chair still has his presence that's alive, it's vibrating. He's still there, still sitting in that chair. I use spray paint around, the Baba himself I did with acrylic, but the rest of it's spray paint. Again, that sense of unity just done with letting it drip through the colors around Baba. Again, he's coming out of that field of blue color and just merging back into it. Stop that one. This is a charcoal and chalk drawing. And one of the things I try to do in drawings is give a sense of movement and action, all right, through how the chalk or the charcoal, rather than a static, perfect drawing. I want to always convey the sense of movement, enlivenment, and energy, and that something's Baba's hand is in the air, and there's a flow of energy coming, and of light and energy coming out of his hand just by the gesture. Okay, so there's a sweeping motion of lines that are moving diagonally from up to the left side, and that mirrors the movement of his hand. Wow, we really went back. Sorry. I was thinking of the perfect master circles, the circle that's in God Speaks. It's called Still Life with Baba. That's the table in the center library. Again, Baba's form is just dissolving and coming out of the surrounding light field. He's there and not there. And the rose is just alive and pulling you in right up into his heart. You know? Wanted to convey with this, I'm afraid to stop, but I have to. You know, these lines are kind of sharp and jagged, and there's a box here with a circle. I was thinking, you know, Baba takes form and he's trapped in the physical world, like the way he was trapped in when he was writing the book, you know, confined into this physical space that's painful for him. And so these sharp lines in the box, that's what I was thinking when I was doing this. And there's a circle of perfection, you know, like Baba in the box, you know, like he's this is, I took a go again painting and removed the piece of fruit that's in it. You'll see it next. And I put Baba's picture. Another still life with Baba. I think the next one is the actual go again painting. Yeah, there it is. That's the original. I took out that apple and I put in Baba. Again, kind of like try to get some action, movement, and an unusual perspective. There's a flow of lines in that direction. And charcoal drawing. I'm interested in again, trying to break free of the sharp foreground, background, that it's all one. And and not just painting everything or drawing everything literally, like, you know, bringing this empty space into Baba's hair. I could have filled that in with the hair. And that the hair becomes lines of energy, you know, so that there's a sense of movement and life, energy moving through the painting or the drawing. Backwards, yeah. Wow. I'll just let him run because we're running short on time. These are some, I just make these up without referring to a painting. It's just whimsical, using oil pastels, Baba with angels. I don't even know what I'm going to do. It just kind of happens as I draw it. Okay, see the background? I didn't paint that. That's the Mona Lisa. Just note the background of the Mona Lisa. I just copied the background and I call this one Meher Chalisa. Does it sound like Mona Lisa? The avatar comes out of the blue. I call this one. It's just coming out of some space, inner space. And then landscapes I've done of the center and India. I'll show a few of those. It's an oil. Most of these are acrylics. That's an oil. Those three, I was looking for a unique angle. You know, I took a photo. And those 3 jars, I'm taking rose subtle metal in this bridge. There's the rowboat at the center. I wanted to give it some status. The gondola gets all the status. I wanted to raise the status of the rope, that lovely little rowboat. This is a Dipitch, two paintings. You can see the Monet influence. I was out on the rowboat and took a photo. Lower Maribon. And some abstracts with the center. I just want to convey like the energy of the samadhi reaching, going down into the earth. Baba's light coming through the compound and at the center, coming through the cracks in the gate. The power at Nirvana. Lagoon cabin. Another abstract with the samadhi. Check in the morning arti. That's the name of this one. Sunlight, sunrise. That's the footpath to the beach at the center, just as you get into the dunes. Another Merzog painting. This is my interpretation of Begin to Begin. Down by the shore, orchestra is playing. And this is called, There Will Never Be Another You, and this again about a jazzy painting. Oh Moon, it's the name of this one. You know, Jeff sings about song Oh Moon, and that's my interpretation of it. This is an abstract again, like the awakening of the soul, sunrise and awakening. And then I've been thinking about how to express like spiritual symbols or abstractly maybe. I'm just thinking of the spiritual path at some point, you know, you got to get through this barrier. It's kind of a desert, like a southwestern scene, but you come up against this block or wall. Maybe it's the block between the physical, the gross and the subtle, whatever. Just exploring those themes. The next 3 and the final ones, there's a Sufi saying where the 2 seas meet. And that meaning like where our human consciousness on the inside meets our divine consciousness. And I thought, well, I want to paint that, like where the 2 seas meet. That suggests that in a non-representational way. There's one. Another one. always think of pink as divine love, divine and human intersecting. I think that's the last slide. Yep. All right. So, any comments or questions? How are we doing for time? 5 minutes. You're welcome. Glad to respond. Unmute your mic. Unmute your mic if you have anything. Right.
Thank you so much, Joe. We open up for questions if anyone has questions for Joe or anything about the paintings or any other queries that you may have and want to ask Joe. We have a few minutes for some questions. You may raise your hand or digitally or physically.
Thank you, Ms. Mikhail. Thank you for the comment.
There was some amazing work. Did I see somebody had written that now these are available for sale at Circle of Friends? Is that so, Angela?
Yeah, actually, I have. They were at Circle of Friends. I have some of them back home. Most of these paintings are sold or elsewhere. I have I have some. I have a few of them still. I'm going to have a show at the center when it reopens. Whenever the center reopens, I'm next on the list to have a show at the center. Some of the ones that I did.
I think there was one that is for sale at the Circle. Is that right?
I've taken those back home. They were there. I don't think there's any left there. I've taken them back home. Yeah. But they are. Yeah, there's some.
Jay Baba.
Now we have Michal
here. I wanted to comment on the one painting that's for sale now. And that is, let me see if I can.
Can you show your
face? It's, I believe it's the one because it looks very similar to the one we have hanging at the Circle now. It's again through the Bobby Gardino estate. It's the one by Lynn Ott and Phyllis. So I don't know if Joe, if you can go back to that, or I can. We'll share more information on.
Take too long to find it.
Yeah. The single of the Baba, and anyway. So yeah, and I just also wanted to put a plug for Joe and the upcoming art classes through Zoom, 4 weeks starting next Tuesday from 2 to 4 p.m. So if anybody wants to dabble in the arts with Joe, this is a perfect opportunity to come and join us. 2 o'clock on Tuesdays.
If there's no other comments, I could end with a poem.
Hey, perfect.
We have Michal who would like to ask something.
Sure, okay.
Not to ask, but to say, wow, it's just beautiful. Very, very beautiful. All through, just making all the beginning, showing us how God is seen, how spirituality is awakened through the pictures, through the paintings, and then seeing your work. Wow. Beautiful work. Really, really very beautiful. Thank you for putting us through this experience.
Thanks for coming.
And I remember you started painting in Marabad in the house that later became my house.
Oh, was it? Oh,
yeah. And the smell of the paint was still there when I went in. Thank you for this experience. Really, really very beautiful, and all your explanations and how you wove us through the whole all the paintings. Yeah, thank you.
Actually, I was thinking of this. Roshani, do I have a minute just to share that the slides from the play, from the birthday play?
Sure.
Okay, hold on, everybody. Let me do it.
Sure.
Well, you look for that, Joe. I have a question also, especially regarding the Baba paintings. Were they mostly in oils or acrylics?
Mostly acrylics with a couple of oils.
Beautiful.
Yeah, mostly acrylics. hold on a second here. So the play, the one birthday play I did at Maribon was an adaptation of a novel by Chitra Diva Karuni. I don't know if anyone is. She's an Indian novelist who lives in Houston, and a very successful novelist. And so I adapted. Can you all see this page now? Can you see it? Okay, so this book, Palace of Illusions, it's the Mahabharata told from the point of view of Queen Draupadi, who's the wife of the four of the Pandava brothers. She's married to all five of them, the five Pandava brothers, right? She's married, and but it's like a woman's perspective on the Mahabharata. So what I did is I adapted it for the stage, and we sent her photographs of the performance at Maribon. They always videoed the plays at Maribon. Unfortunately, that year the video didn't work right, so I don't have a video of the play. But she features the photos on her website, which is pretty cool. Right here, where it says films, plays, and it's a little bit of a slideshow. So I'll say, here you go. This is from the play. This is at Maribon. That's the scene where when show it again one more time. I'm just going to show that one scene. When the cloth is dropping down from the catwalk, that's that scene in the Mahabharata where they were stripping her of her clothes, and Krishna intervened, and the soldier was trying to pull her sari off, and it just wouldn't. It was an endless supply. So we dramatized that by dropping it down from the catwalk. It was really cool.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. So there's that. Okay, just want to share that. That was, for me, that was one of the highlights of my life, really, to write and direct and help create these sets at Maribon. It's just really, when I die and review my life, it's going to be one of the highlights. I think it was really
Production and all the costumes and the.
And what's her name? The artist at the French artist at Maribon.
Nadia.
Nadia, yeah. Nadia was my set creator. We did them together. So thank you, Nadia, for she's a great one.
So incredible, so lush, and the costuming and
really
the tableaus you created. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and too bad the video didn't work. Oh well. Okay, so I'll just end with the poem. All right.
Yeah. It was beautiful.
This is
also an incredible poet.
I love your creative exploration of dabbling into all these wonderful, unusual themes for a Westerner. So,
thank you.
Yeah. Maybe some lifetimes with Baba, bringing all the Indian stuff.
Yeah, well, that was a little tricky, here a Westerner bringing to life the Indians. That Mahabharata is the Indians grow up with that story. You all know that story, and I was a little scared to do it, but I did it. It's like, who am I, a Westerner, to do this? But
it was wonderful. I was there.
You were there?
Really
cool.
Stunning.
Yeah.
Very, very stunning.
All right, here's the poem I got just put up on the screen for everybody. I'm always fascinated by Baba's hands and his hand gestures. We all are, I think. You've seen in some of the drawings I did. I like featuring Baba's hands and the energy coming out of his hands. So here's a poem praising Baba's hands. Baba, it's your hands I love the most. Those finely chiseled fingers, cascading torrents of eloquence. Fervent fingers. Bright birds swinging and dancing through the tangled jungles of our ignorance. Your hands so handsome in repose, or strong fingers all aglow, massaging the pain of the world, or the rivers of grace gliding easily through your open palms into the thirsty hearts of your lovers. The butterfly of my soul alights on your finger, delights in your perfect stillness, lingers. You dip your hands into a river, lift them out, and 1,000 new universes overflow your cupped palms, start to live. And in a high-rise apartment in some distant city, someone is suddenly able to forgive. It's our hands that make our humanity, our fingers the visible tendrils of our desiring, shaping the world into our likeness. But your hands, God's laughter, your hands, golden ladles pouring from the bottomless well of infinity. Your hands gather the dumb and scattered stars into twisting spirals of intelligence. He's got the whole wide universe in his hands. He's got our own little Milky Way in his hands. He's got you and me, brother, sister, in his hands. He's got, and your fingers, your star-kissed fingers untwist the closed jars of our hearts. The butterfly of my heart alights on your finger, delights in your perfect stillness, lingers. There. So much of your body was broken, but never your hands. Light streams through your fingertips. Love dances in your palms. The 3 rings you wear, knowledge, power, bliss. Knowledge, power, bliss. Knowledge, power, bliss. In this crazy life, if there's one thing I'm sure of, it's this. The butterfly of my soul alights on your finger, delights in your perfect stillness, and lingers. That's it. So, Jai Baba. All right. Thank you for attending. And
beautiful. Thank you so
Incredibly
much. Thank
creative.
you, Joe.
Yeah, thank you for sharing.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, thank you, Joe, for coming for this wonderful Saturday evening with us.
And don't forget one last thing. Don't forget February 28th, 3 Baba comedies on Zoom. All right, at 10 o'clock.
10:30.
10:30. Sorry,
10:30 a.m. EST.
Yeah, through the
locked and sealed.
Right. All right.
Great. So now we'll have one song from Manisha, the Yadav family, and then we will close the program with Dhun and Australian Aarti.
I don't see them here anymore.
There must be. Manisha, are you there? 1 second. Okay, maybe they have left. Okay. So then we will carry. Is anybody there to share anything, ask anything to Joe? Or should we move towards the closing? All right.
Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba.
Baba, Meher 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 Baba.
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
O glorious, eternal, ancient one, your face is a bright, transcendental sun. Lighten this dark world and the tears I weep. My heart, meher, I give to you to speak. Creator, yet creationless you are. Truth and truth's body, divine avatar. Through compassion, the three worlds maintain. Destroy this ignorance that life sustains. These five lights are the whirling strokes of breath of the world's wheel that bears me unto death. Unless you are infinitely kind, break the wheel of which is conditioned mind. This incense is my love, these fruits my art, which to please you I have shaped from my heart. Accept them as you would a simple flower that has no use beyond its shining hour. You are myself, I sing to you in grace, and beg your love to bear me through the day. Till you, the ever-living perfect one, illume my darkness with your shining sun.
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
we'll have 1 minute of silence. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
We can all unmute and say 3 times Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar
Meher
Meher
Baba
Baba
ki
Ki
jai.
Jai.
Avatar
Meher
Baba ki jai.
Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai.
की जय। ये आवाज गई वहां पे हाँ?
Jai Baba. Thank you everyone for being there.
Thank
For
you.
this wonderful evening. Thank you, Joe, for sharing and for everyone to share their love for Baba. Thank you so much. See you all tomorrow for Realities Meditation at 6 p.m. IST and 7:30 a.m. EST. Lots of love in Baba's love. Jai
And look
Baba.
at that beautiful painting behind Cassandra. Woo!
Yeah.
Rachel.
Thank you, Roshani. Lovely guest, lovely program.
Thank you, Baba.
Oh, DiSabatino, he's quite amazing.
Yeah.